Evening grade 8s. So none of you are responding to me to tell me if you know or not what's going on for squares, cubes, square roots and cube roots. So I've decided to take the ones that I know if we're in class with you, you would have got wrong. I'm going to show you how to do them, what you've done wrong, what the normal common errors are when working these out. And it's BODMAS, bad old BODMAS, the strange uncle who never goes away. That's the one that you guys are doing wrong. So I'm going to show you 3 examples and then just discuss tomorrow's lesson. Let's have a look. So I'm looking at the square root because you can all get the square root wrong. So when I did the square roots, under this bracket over here, square root, you have this term times this term plus this term. So the thing you need to pick up is, do you see this is to the power of 8? And you can only add something that is got the same power. They're like terms, huh? So you mustn't forget BODMAS here. You have to times these together first. And when you times these together, guess what these two, their powers will add, and it will become an 8. And then you add them together. Okay, so don't go and add these two. They're unlocked. So you have to times first. So 2 times 3 is 6, and x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 4 is x to the power of 8. So it's 6x to the power of 8 plus 30x to the power of 8. Then they like terms, you can add these two together. So what's 6 plus 30, which gives you 36, x to the power of 8. Don't add the powers, only when you're multiplying do you add the powers. When I'm adding, the powers just stay the same. Okay, and then what's the square root of 36? That's 6. And then what do I do to the power? I divide it by 2. So it's x to the power of 4. The next one was cube root. There's a whole bunch of stuff here and you get scared. You all my kids, you should know what that means. That means times, eh? But what must I do first? BODMAS. So I'll square this out first. I'll square it out first. So I leave the 5 where he is. I work out what's in my bracket and I leave the p where he is. So what is 5 squared? It's 25. And what do I do to these powers? I times them together. P to the power of 20. Alright? Yes. The reason why I asked why I was right was because I'm already looking at this cube root and I know I can't divide that by 3. But if I take this power, I'm going to add this power, that power will be 21, and can 3 go in 21? Yes, it can. So what's 5 times 25? Now I times this thing out. I times the 5 in and I times the p in. What's 5 times 25? It's 125. And p to the power of 20 times p to the power of 1 gives me p to the power of 21. What's the cube root? What number times of 3 times give me 125? 5. And what's 21 divided by 3? 7. 21 divided by 3. No. Is it 7? 3, 7. Yes. 7. Good. Let's look at the next one. Again, you have to do some stuff in here first. Okay. I'll square this out. So if I square this out, it's 16x to the power times over here, 6. So it's 16x to the power of 6 times. And then what is this over here? Add these two together. Can I add them? Yes, I can. They're like terms. So it's 4x to the power of 9. Most of you would have added those two together and make it 18. Remember, when you're adding, you don't touch the powers. When I multiply, I touch the powers. Now I'm timesing these two together. So 16 times 4 is 64. 64. And then those two together gives me, I add them. It's like bases, add the powers. 15. Now cube root that. What times what times what gives me? It's 4. And then divide the 15 by 3, which gives me 5. Okay. So you can see there's a lot of exponential laws that you must remember, and then now you're square rooting and cube rooting. What do you do to the powers when you square root and you cube root? You divide it. So if it's square root divided by 2, cube root divided by 3 to the power. Now tomorrow you've got a revision exercise. I will give you the numbers through WhatsApp that you are going to do for me. Those, because there's about 90 questions. I'm not going to make you do all 90, that's ridiculous. I'll probably make you do about 20, but out of those 20, those will be test questions. So please, grade 8s, take your time, look at those questions, do them like a test. I don't want to know your marks. Do it as a test, because when you get back to school, I'm going to give you a test very similar to that. to test yourselves, and I'll post the answers at 12. Please post on Teams if you need some questions. I'm worried that your kids aren't watching my videos and you're not doing your work on Teams. Thank you. God bless.